The grid is a question that obviously everyone raises. Can the grid cope with charging? National Grid, who are the operator of the transition network in the UK, have said it will, right until 2050, until we achieve the full EV adoption that we expect to achieve in the UK. So if National Grid's confident, I'm pretty confident. In terms of the two elements of that, so power and overall energy supply, they're looking at EVs potentially taking about, this is by 2050, adding about 9 to 10% on overall electricity demand. That's in terms of the actual energy consumption. In terms of the peaks, that's where the challenges are likely to lie. So the individual power peaks for demand. We all know where that is at the moment. It's 6, 7 p.m. in the evening in the UK when we all get home and have dinner, watch TV, etc., put the kettle on. The difference with going home and having a meal or having a cup of tea during a soap or whatever is that that's when you're going to do it regardless. You can't really be persuaded to have dinner at midnight, most of you. You can't really move the TV schedule, so that peak in power for the current demand is probably not going to shift. The great thing about EVs is that most of the EVs that charge at home aren't needed till the next morning. Typically, they're plugged in for 12 hours. Most of the EVs that are plugged in will probably be charged in 5, and that's if they're empty. So what we're actually seeing is that the average home charge is something like 10 kilowatt hours, which actually will only take about an hour and a half on a standard home charger. So of that 12-hour plugged-in period, the cars are actually only charging for a very small amount of that time. So pushing that charge back into the early hours of the morning through very simple apps that people already have on their phones. You can program the car from inside the vehicle, and every current electric vehicle, it's really not a problem. So pushing the demand back into the evenings for electric cars is very easy and doesn't disrupt anyone, because once you've plugged in, that's done, and the car will charge when you tell it to charge.